get racing, you lose ground on the leader, and last night we saw teams that were 1 lap down try this wave around strategy, ended up 2 laps down by the time it cycled all the way around.
Well, it's going to be Mark Martin and Jimmy Johnson in row number 1 for the restart. Casey Kane and Tony Stewart side by side in row 2. Brian Vickers and Clint Boyer, Carl Edwards, Jeff Gordon, Kurt Busch, and Dale Earnhardt Jr. As we get set to go back to the green flag, they'll put lap 136 on the board.
See how far or how quickly Mark Martin can check out of the field like he's done in previous restarts here this evening. He and teammate Jimmy Johnson on the front row as the pace car drops down on the pit lane. We get ready to get back under the green flag just past the halfway mark of the Lifelock.com 400. They're on the gas coming into the tri-oval, getting set to bring them back up to full speed. Mark Martin inches out a little bit in front of his teammate, but now Jimmy pulls back up alongside. The two of them get a little distance over Tony Stewart and Casey Kane.
But they're going to stay side by side. Martin to the inside, Johnson to the outside. Behind them, Casey Kane and Tony Stewart. The third spot to Tony. That was on to the race lead.
Give the race lead to Jimmy Johnson by a half a car length down the back straightaway, but Mark Martin rebounds on the inside. Into turn number 3. It's Martin on the bottom. Tony takes the top spot. Here comes Tony Stewart to challenge for second.
Jimmy Johnson slides up the banking. Tony had an idea about trying to slide underneath him for second, but Jimmy slams the door on him. Best battle right now is for the 5th spot. Brian Vickers to the inside on Clint Boyer.
And he'll pick up that 5th spot. Boyer back to 6th. Further up, Jimmy Johnson climbing the banking, trying to get some momentum to run down the race leader, Mark Martin.
3 car lengths between the race leader, Mark Martin, from second place, Jimmy Johnson. Make it 2 car lengths into turn number 3. Johnson continues to close in. Both cars beginning to pull away from third place, Tony Stewart.
Contact for the 7th position. Carl Edwards trying to get by Jeff Gordon. They touched between turns 3 and 4. Gordon slipped a little bit. Carl gathers it back in, but he has some damage on the right side of his Ford.
And both of those cars being stormed now by several others that are working the inside. Gordon and Edwards still running together on the racetrack, but they have lost all kinds of track position.
Continuing to free fall through the field, barely clinging to the top 10, top 15. Now as the leaders begin to single out, here's the race for third. Casey Kane challenging Tony Stewart for the spot.
Both Jeff Gordon and Carl Edwards are back up to speed, but Edwards, as Joe said, has got a pretty good divot in the right side door, a big black tire mark right over the front 9 in that 99, but he's back to speed, Jeff Striegel, and running the outside lane.
Well, he's got a lot of ground to make up, Dave, but you're right. He is trying to get a counter back up. He's got that ring on the door, and now he's sandwiched in the middle of a 3-wide battle.
As Matt Kenseth is inside, down the back straightaway, Kevin Harvick lies just ahead as they continue to race 3 wide for that position, just outside of the top 15. A.J. Allmendinger also part of that.